If I were to describe biomechanics in one word, for me, that would be healthcare.
Creativity.
Possible.
Biomechanics is community.
At a personal level, I feel like biomechanics is not just a field of study, it's also a space to learn and grow. Biomechanics has allowed me to be myself and get comfortable with not knowing the answers all the time. It's a place where I can be okay to explore and continuously learn. And so this is my journey, and it's exciting to have different teachers along the way. Sometimes that's a new undergraduate student who's new to biomechanics, or sometimes it's a reviewer who leaves a comment we see in a manuscript review. But whoever it is, they become a teacher when they ask a question I don't know the answer to. And it allows me to learn something new or look at a problem through a different lens. I think our community of biomechanists make that space a really special place to embrace the attitude of being a lifelong student of the biomechanics discipline.
One instance where biomechanics has allowed me to make a difference at a personal level is through an event at my school where we invite middle school students from around town to come visit our department, and we do tours for all the different labs. And I led the tour for my lab where I show them the motion capture setup, and they get to put on their motion capture jackets, and they really, really love that part of the tour. They get really excited. So I think that's one event that I really, really love to do because it's an opportunity for me to show these younger students what kinds of things are possible for them if they decide to pursue college. So I think that would be one big way of how I've had an impact.
Biomechanics had taught me that anything can be possible. I used to think that I was not cut for mathematics and engineer, but for some reason, applying all these concepts to human movement made sense to me. This ultimately allowed me to learn that any difficult topic can be learned by having your own personal reference frame, and that you can change and modify that reference frame to allow you to learn any difficult topic that might be thrown at you or that you're thinking that you're not cut for it.
How has biomechanics allowed me to make a difference on a personal level? So many ways. The friends that I've made, the network that I've cultivated, the individual students that I've had the privilege of mentoring, the science that we've put out, just so many different ways that being involved in biomechanics has enriched my own life, but also those of the people around me. The work that BBA is doing in connecting other Black biomechanists, in advocating for each other, in supporting and uplifting each other's science, and the Ally Corner, which I'm proud to be a part of, providing resources for other people to learn how to be competent and culturally sensitive when mentoring Black students, and having other Black faculty members and understanding their struggles and the barriers that they've overcome to get to where they are. So it's just an incredible association to be a part of, and watching how much BBA has achieved in the last year and seeing what's coming up in the pipeline, I really feel like we're making a difference day to day and in the larger community, and that's a really cool thing to see.
The connections that I've made through LIB and BBA have been huge for me on a personal level and also in my academic life. I feel like I can really be myself with people in those groups, and I found mentors and friends through both organizations. So I can't express how thankful I am for both groups to exist and for all the connections that I've made despite this past year in the pandemic.
I believe that if you love biomechanics, you belong here. And I want to do what I can to help amplify voices of our colleagues, students, and even the people who participate in our studies. I'm grateful for the space that BBA has created because it allows me an opportunity to continuously listen and learn. A lifelong student of biomechanics, always learns about ways to help empower perspectives and voices affected by racism, bias, discrimination, and prejudice. So understanding that we are the experts of our own experiences and learning about experiences that my Black colleagues face allows me to understand how I can contribute to a space that appreciates and celebrates multiculturalism, diversity, and inclusion. So thank you, BBA, for allowing me to learn.
Being able to collaborate with the BBA and to identify that we're on this together has been truly a great experience to me. Connecting with the BBA organizers for collaborative work has also increased my network, especially with underrepresented people. And overall, I'm very grateful to be able to collaborate and support the BBA efforts in making a change and having a meaningful impact on what we are trying to do together and also individually. As being part of the Latinx and Biomechanics group, we have our own intentions, but there is a parallel going between the two organizations or affinity groups. And we can also even include the International Women's in Biomechanics. So overall, I'm very happy to meet the people from Black Biomechanics Association and also the International Women Biomechanics to overall uplift the underrepresented groups. I truly hope and I think that my way of living an impact through biomechanics is with the creation of the Latinx and Biomechanics Affinity Group. And I'm also the president of the American Society of Biomechanics student chapter at my university, which is University of Massachusetts at Amherst. My philosophy is to make science available for everyone, and knowledge is a powerful thing that we should all share and contribute with increasing the power through younger generations. Beyond that, I also think that biomechanics is at a pinnacle of utilizing the knowledge in our field to make a difference in the athletics and also in special population groups. So I think that people is now more aware of what biomechanics means. And even though I'm a fairly young scientist, I clearly remember that when I make up my mind that I was going to get into biomechanics as my field of career, people was not really aware of what biomechanics means. And I had to really explain the concept of biomechanics or the term of biomechanics. And fast forward about 6 or more years in my career, I started to engage in conversations about what my field is, and people don't ask me what is biomechanics anymore. And so I think that people is really getting to know what we do as biomechanists and what the meaning of biomechanics is about. So I think continuing sharing the knowledge and the overall contribution to improving human quality and human life quality is what I think I will hope to utilize to leave an impact in future generations.
How will biomechanics help me leave an impact? Well, aside from, the science that I do, I really do think it's the connections that we make, that community, changing students' attitude towards science and math, taking a student who is not a math person and watching them get a concept and really sort of understanding how the body works together with physics is really cool. But for me personally, my impact will be on the friends that I've made, the collaborative science we get to do, and hopefully a little bit of a culture change too, to make it truly an inclusive, supportive field of STEM. It's really cool to see.
Biomechanics has been a journey for me. I hope my impact will be the community that I help develop. And a big part of that is my trainees and my students. The group of biomechanists I get to work with make me a better person and scientist, and without them, I wouldn't be challenging myself to be better. My position as a lab director and a faculty member also allows me to create a platform for good. And this helps me to help inspire others so that they can step into their own power to become vessels for change and knowledge for the future. So I hope that my contributions allow me to promote valuable resources, opportunities, and experiences for our future biomechanists.
Like I said, biomechanics to me is all about improving human life. So I hope that my research will eventually lead to some clinical impact that can improve rehabilitation or maybe medical devices, anything that moves towards that goal of making things better for humanity. So even though I may not get to meet these people that I help, I will feel really good knowing that I'm moving towards finding more pieces to the puzzle of improving our healthcare.